I'm putting another team on CWS watch.
Okay.
Omaha's own Arkansas Razorbacks.
Whoa. They made fun of Mojo Hagee. They made Mojo Hagee feel bad.
They flipped him
and
off,
people
Nick.
didn't like him around here.
But here's the thing. They've been doing good.
Real good.
Have they? How good, Nick? How good are they, Nick?
How good are they?
Yours.
Well, not only have they jumped from 11 to 9th in the D1 top 25,
Okay. Jumped. They moved up 2 spots.
they also boast a 40-9 overall record and are 17-7 in conference play.
Okay.
Wow, that's good.
Holy moly.
Just this last weekend, the Razorbacks swept the #1 Texas Longhorns in the battle of pointy farm-related animals, and they show absolutely no signs of stopping. A few of their highlight players for this season include sophomore pitcher Aiden Jimenez with a 5-1 record, a 1.76 ERA over 30 2/3 innings. He was a Beaver in 23, nowhere last year, and he's improved immensely at Fayetteville.
Where did he go?
I don't know. There's nothing there.
Okay.
He just disappeared.
Fascinating.
Pitcher Zach Root, a junior with a 6-3 record, a 3.95 ERA over 66 innings. The former East Carolina Pirate also leads the Razorbacks in strikeouts with 92. Second place on the Razorbacks has 57 strikeouts per contest. And last but not least, senior Dylan Carter. He's also a pitcher. Are you seeing a pattern here, guys?
Lots of pitchers.
Over 30 1/3 innings, he has 5 wins, 0 losses, a 2.37 ERA. Now, their next 2 series could get tricky as they play both at LSU and they host Tennessee. But, as you can see, these Hogs have some heat. And if they make it to Omaha, I imagine a lot of teams will be scared of these arms. In conclusion, welcome back to Omaha, maybe, Arkansas baseball.
You should guarantee it, Nick. If you're going to go that bold, you should say they're coming.
I put them on watch.
They're coming. I want a warning.
I want a lot of things, Josh.
Well, you can't have a warning until they actually get here.
All right.
Yeah.
How's Texas A&M doing, Nick? I hear they're good now.
Not ranked.
But
Not ranked.
okay. You don't have to be ranked to make it to the tournament. Nick.
Yeah, but they've been like really streaky.
Who
you know?
cares about
Ole
rankings?
Miss famously was like the last team to get into the tournament a few years ago, and they won the whole doggone thing.
Whoa, Patrick says, damn it, I agree with Grim.
Nice.
Wow, that's a tough look for society.
Hog pilled.
By the way, it's interesting you mentioned that because if there was ever a time for Arkansas and Dave Van Horn to finally end the streak,
Is this it?
this would seem to be a good time.
How come?
Because we have just gone through, or we're currently in, I should say, one of the longest sustained periods of new champions that the College World Series has had
Yes.
in its history.
Yeah, that's true.
Save for the very beginning of the event.
when it was literally new champions every year.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I know this specifically because I was starting to update my notes for this College World Series.
Wow,
but
charts.
8 of the last 11 teams to win the College World Series have been first-time champions.
Wow.
8 of the last 11. I mean, think about that in college football or college basketball. How many years do we have to go back, especially in college football? How many years do we have to go back to find 8 different first-time champions?
Well, the last first-time champ is Florida in 96, and before them it's Florida State in 93, and before that, what, BYU maybe in 84?
I mean, yeah, and then you're
for
looking
sure.
at Clemson, Miami.
Yeah, so it's
you gotta
probably
go back,
that
you got to go back
stretch.
40 years.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's only finding 3 or 4, let alone, what was the stat that you just had, John?
8 of the last 11
That
teams
is
to win it all
wild.
have been first-time champions.
Yeah,
We've
that's
had
crazy.
12 teams since the turn of the century.
That's crazy. Even though it's so funny, right?
And Arkansas, by the way, to kind of complete the cycle,
Yeah.
they would be a first-time champion.
Which is wild because it seems like college baseball has zero parity, but it has zero parity in terms of location of where the good teams are. But in terms of the types or the actual teams that are winning, it's quite a bit of parity.
And a lot of it, too, is because a lot of those 8 teams are SEC schools. Florida, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Tennessee last year, first-time champions. It's because that league has gone so far out ahead of everybody else, which is one of the reasons why. But you also have teams like Oregon State and Fresno State and Coastal Carolina who have won in the last 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting.